Kennis Russell here, talking about my Godin XTSA guitar, and I've had this guitar for about 8 or 9 months now, and this is my favorite guitar I've ever owned my entire life. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of the reasons why I think this is one of the best guitars out right now and one of the most versatile guitars there is on the market. Looking at it, the first thing, you might just think, well, it's just a regular electric guitar, and it is, but it's also more. It's like an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, and a synth guitar all in one. Let me break that down for you. So firstly, just the electric guitar. It's it's set up with 2 humbucker pickups and a single coil in the middle. It's got your volume and your tone knob and a 5-way switch for your pickups. The pickups are great. They're Seymour Duncan pickups. They're really warm. Really like them. But they're very versatile also. On the first position of the pickup switch, it's just this the neck humbucker. If you go into position 2, it's going to be the neck humbucker and the center single coil pickup. In the middle here, it's just a single coil, so you can get like a real kind of stratty type sound with it being just a single coil. Position 4 is the middle single coil pickup and the bridge pickup, as well as the 5th position just being the bridge pickup. And here in a minute here, I'll go through some of the different sounds that it has. So that's the electric side of things. Then there's also this pickup installed here on the bridge, which is called an RMC Piezo pickup. And basically there are transducers in this that translate the sound to make it sound like an acoustic guitar and not an electric guitar. Now, to me, this was a deal maker for the guitar. I'm a praise and worship leader, so I really need to have that acoustic guitar to drive the type of music that I play. So for me to switch to an electric guitar, that was an absolute must to have a good sounding acoustic guitar, and then the electric part just being an addition to that. Now, I played a bunch of different guitars, some of them very expensive, and when I came across the Godin XTSA, it blew my mind comparatively to the other ones. And the reason why is they have this EQ and volume built into the guitar. And the problem is when I would play a couple of the other brands, is it would be really tinny. And I don't like a tinny sound with my acoustic. I don't want to just hear the strings clacking. I want to be able to get the tone and the bassiness that an acoustic guitar has. And like my acoustic that I normally play with is a jumbo guitar, so I want to have the versatility to have that big sound with it. So it has this built in here, the bass, mid, and treble, as well as the volume built into the guitar, and so I can really fine-tune the sound that I want. And to me, that was a deal maker with this combination of this pickup with this equalizer and volume also. There's a powered preamp that powers the acoustic guitar, and I'll play you some samples here in a minute, but I'm totally blown away with how good of an acoustic sound this guitar is able to make. So far we've got the electric, we've got the acoustic, and then the third thing is it is a synth guitar. Now, some of you guys might not know what a synth guitar is. Probably the easiest way to think of a guitar synth is to compare it to a keyboard guitar, a keyboard synthesizer. You know, your keyboard player shows up and he has access to hundreds of different sounds playing the same thing on the keyboard, but it's changing the sound. Whereas guitar players have not had access to that because there hasn't really been a good way to translate what notes we're playing into individual notes. Well, they've come up with this 13-pin system that companies like Roland have used, and in their GR series, they've just come out this last year with the GR55, which is a great guitar synth. And the Godin XTSA has built this 13-pin pickup or output into the guitar. So like if you buy a Roland GR55, it's going to come with a pickup that you have to install on your guitar. The Godin XTSA already has it built in, and the tracking is great on it. You know, there's not a latency when you're strumming and then you hear the sound a second later. It's right on there, and I've been pretty happy with the technology that's built into the XTSA with the guitar synth. So here's where it's got all that. I'm going to kind of break it down to how you could actually apply these technologies in a live setting. On the outputs here, if you notice, there are 3 different outputs. This one here is called acoustic/mix. There's a 13-pin, and then the electric. So if you're just wanting to play electric guitar, just take your normal 1/4-inch jack, plug it into the output on the electric side, and then it's only going to have access to these 3 pickups, your humbuckers and your single coil. And so you'll get just a basically just electric guitar sound with that. Now, you can also plug it into the mix and acoustic side. And what that's going to do is it's going to, if you plug just a 1/4 inch into the mix acoustic, it's going to mix the volume of your electric here along with the volume of your acoustic. So if you had that, you could drop out your electric totally and play just an acoustic sound, or you could do a mix of both of them. And actually that's what I do, and I really enjoyed having kind of a little bit of the electric sound playing along with my acoustic sound. It actually really beefs it up, and I like it a lot. The other option is if you plug, you can actually have both of these going out at the same time. If you have the acoustic 1/4 inch jack going out and then the electric jack going out, you could send the electric signal to a tube amp or an electric guitar amplifier going through all your effects, and then you could have the acoustic going out to an acoustic amplifier or going to straight into a house PA, and so you can then the sound guy could actually mix your different volumes, or you could mix them yourself here, still controlling the volume of the electric and the volume of the acoustic. So you could actually send both of them out, which I mean that's incredible to be able to have 2 different sounds playing at the exact same time. So I use the Roland GR55 guitar synth also, and so I'm able to plug out the 13 pin, and in theory you could have your 13 pin going out, your acoustic going out, your electric going out, and literally having 3 different signals going out at the same time. The Roland GR55 actually does a lot of that for you. You only have to use the 13 pin out and it will translate that, and you can send it out from there. And so you're able to really have a really beefy sound that's totally layered with a bunch of different things with one guitar. And I've been doing praise and worship music. It's a style of music that I do, and I've been doing it for probably about the last 15 years or so. And this last year, since I've switched over to my Godin XTSA, my Roland GR55, my sound has gotten huge. And other worship leaders and other people have come up to me and said, like, what are you doing up there? Because there's only, you know, a bass, drummer, and you up there, and I hear all of this sound. I'm like, hey, it's all of this happening at the same time. The electric guitar, the acoustic guitar, and the synth happening at the same time. So this guitar is extremely versatile, and it's blown me away at how I could literally talk about this guitar for like an hour because there's so much to it. But let me dig in a couple of the little things you might be interested in with the Godin XTSA. The body of the wood that all Godin guitars are made out of is solid wood. There's no Godin guitars made out of plywood. And for those of you that don't know, solid wood is what you really want if you want any sustain, and it just has such a better tone than like a plywood. Plywood would be a bunch of different layers of wood all glued together. This is basically one solid chunk of wood. And what they did with this one is the center, the main wood that this is made out of, is the silver leaf maple, and then they put like a little veneer on top to get this really beautiful flame leaf top look to it. By the way, this guitar comes in 3 different colors, if you will. There's this color here. They also have a red and kind of a blackish color too, and they're all really pretty, but I like this one a lot. Next thing is the neck. The neck is made out of Honduras mahogany, and it's a really solid neck. The ebony, it's got an ebony fretboard, and the fretboard actually, the ebony fretboard actually helps with the tracking on the guitar synth as well. And then the neck attached to the guitar has this really neat bolt-on neck right here, and this is very, very, very tight fitting. First I was kind of like, well, I don't know if I want a bolt-on neck, but man, once I played this is pretty awesome. The way that this is, it's extremely tight fitting, and I haven't noticed any loss of sustain whatsoever. A couple of things, it's got these locking tuners up at the top, and for those of you that don't know what locking tuners are, basically when you change your strings, you stick it through there and you just tighten this part down, and it clamps onto the string, so you don't have to wind the string around 4 or 5 times in order to keep it from slipping off. This is locked on there, and just by twisting it down, what that does is it helps with keeping your guitar in tune, because if it's just wound around there, it gradually starts to slip, and your guitar gets out of tune a lot easier. So it's got these locking tuners, which are great. It also has a tremolo or a whammy bar that it comes with as well. And so you have, you know, your whammy bar that you can play with. I don't really use the whammy bar that much, so I had to dig this out of the bag. But it does have the whammy bar you can use with it, and it bends both ways. So you can use, you know, you can go bend up and bend down. And that's actually, you know, I'm not extremely familiar with tremolos and whammy bars, but to me it seems really great. I haven't, you know, I used to have a Floyd Rose tremolo, and this has been great for me. So also, this is your volume for your guitar synth. So you've got your acoustic or electric guitar volume, guitar synth volume, your electric guitar tone knob, and then your acoustic guitar volume. So you can mix live. You can pull your synth down, your electric guitar down, your acoustic down, and you don't have to. Anyway, that's just kind of a nice feature. Also on here, it's got these two toggle switches. This top toggle switch is kind of helps you split your sound. If you said, if you're playing a song, you say, I don't want the guitar synth, you kick it up to the top and it's just gonna have your electric guitar and your acoustic guitar on it. If you say, well, I don't want any of my electric guitar or acoustic guitar, you kick it to the bottom and it's just your guitar synth. If you put it in the middle, it's gonna be your mix of both of them. And you could, again, mix it however you want. This toggle switch here is a momentary toggle switch, and it works with guitar synths like the GR55. If you want to change sounds, you can program this to click your sounds up and down. So if you know have your set list in your guitar synth, you can just get done with playing a song, go to a different one. You can click this one instead of having to use the pedals on the floorboard. You can use this as well. So hopefully that helps you with getting an idea of the Godin XTSA. The MSRP, I believe, is like $1,200 or something in that price range, and most everybody sells it for right at $1,000. And it comes with, right here, comes with a soft case. First I was a little concerned with the being a soft case and not a hard case, because I'm pretty protective of my instruments, but actually in retrospect, now that I've used it, initially I thought I was going to go out and buy a Godin case, which is $100. It's a hard shell case, within the first couple weeks, but I haven't had any problems with this, you know, just going to and from gigs. It's padded pretty well on the inside. It's got this thing that holds your neck in, so it's not flopping around. It's got a lot of different pockets that you can keep a lot of different stuff in, extra strings, all that kind of thing. As well as, you know, on the back, it's got adjustable straps for you to use as a backpack. So this actually wasn't too bad for me, so I decided to keep it. Obviously I wouldn't fly with it, putting it under a plane, but I wouldn't put my guitar under a plane anyway, so this doesn't seem to be a problem. Now I want to give you guys an idea of what everything sounds like. I'm going to try to pull it all together, and so you can get an idea of what the sounds are with the Godin XTSA. have it. That's my review of the Godin XTSA. I cannot recommend it more. I think it is a great guitar, and for the money is a fantastic guitar. If you're looking to buy something that's above just your starter guitar, your entry level and intermediate guitar, and you're looking to buy your first, kind of more professional guitar, this is your guitar right here. As I was getting ready to purchase not just this guitar, but when I decided, you know what, I'd like to buy a new guitar, I made the decision I want something that's going to last me 10 years, that I'm not going to want to buy another guitar. And I looked at a lot of different ones. This is what I settled on, and I don't see any reason for me to get another guitar for the next 10 years or for the rest of my life for that matter. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful to you. If you like this video and you want to see more, please hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.